Guys, so it's episode 3 of Bear Stories. If you missed the previous 2, go check them out. Today also we are going to meet someone doing something really exciting and who's achieved a lot. If you're active on Instagram, you probably know this guy already. Let's go meet him.
What's it display anyway?
So you and the logo.
Do you see both, really? So, my name is Bhanuka. This is Surge. Surge is a media company. We focus on content distribution and analytics, basically helping businesses tell their story. So, me. I have a weird story. I come from a pretty decent livelihood. My parents are doctors, my brother's in med school, I studied biology, kind of dropped out, wasn't the thing for me. Realized that the way education worked for me, or at least the way I think it works, is not us repeating stuff that is told to us, but really going out, trying stuff, testing how it works and seeing results and learning from that. So I did my A-levels in 2013 or was it 2013? I think I did it twice, so I don't know which years I did it. That's how bad this is. I did it in either 2013 and 14 or 12 and 13. So within that spectrum of time, didn't work out so well because I failed. I would say that I paid very little attention to it. So what ended up happening was a bunch of us got together. We started playing video games. When I say a bunch of us, it's me and this one other guy that's supposed to be there. We built this thing called the Gamer's Cottage. It's basically the two of us playing video games together. We were uploading that, and what we realized was there were people actually watching what we were doing. We weren't really good at what we were doing. It wasn't like we were pro esports players. We were really bad, but having a good time. But from the whole experience, we understood how content distribution worked on YouTube. And a few brands, businesses locally saw that we kind of figured out YouTube to a certain extent, and they wanted that capability in their brand. So they reached out to us and they said, you know what, if you guys can do this for yourselves, can you go ahead and do this for us? And then there was this little light bulb moment for us. It was like, holy shit, someone is willing to pay us money to help them, create content essentially. And that's how Surge was born. A lot of changes has happened since the point we started out. The two of us became a 20-man team. We have, we no longer just work with companies in Sri Lanka. We work with massive publicly traded companies in Australia, to the US, to Singapore, to doing lots of crazy stuff, building our own products and, just having a lot of fun basically. But it was basically a bunch of guys that, kind of enjoyed doing what they were doing and just having fun along the way.
There's a lot of small to medium scale companies in the e-commerce space in Sri Lanka. We know a bunch of you guys are watching these stories, so what advice would Bhanuka give to them?
Do I get paid for this?
No.
Okay, so basically the e-commerce space is a really tough space, right? The problem is in Sri Lanka people have inherently gotten this fear about trusting something online. So what we've seen with all the companies we've worked is that you kind of have to build that trust. It's not always the price tag, because if you look at the way Surge sells services, we're expensive, right? And we're not shy about that. We're probably one of the more expensive media companies in terms of digital and all of that out there. So what we tell is, if you can somehow figure out a way to bridge the connection between you and whoever is watching and this person, whether it's some 20-year-old who lives with his parents and goes out, gets stoned, or it's a 45-year-old CEO in a boardroom, if you can connect with them and they know for a fact that this is the face behind Bear, this is why you do what you do, and they can bridge that gap and you can tell that properly, that's all you need to do, because then they are not really afraid about putting their credit card details and making that transaction, because everyone in e-commerce in Sri Lanka is playing around, hey, what's the best offer you can get, what's the best deal you can get, and then they're worried about why is everything that we do a cash on delivery system, right? So And we've worked with brands where we're slowly bridging that gap. Yes, it's going to be a process that takes a long time, but you need to get started soon.
That's pretty cool advice. Yeah.
I should add to that though, because one thing that if you have to do it now, because right now, social, this line of communication we're having is ridiculously cheap. It won't be cheap for a while because you guys are fucking watching a vlog of, I don't even know where this is going on, but instead of doing something as watching a movie, right? You can put this 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 minute or whatever you're creating and go out, watch a movie on Netflix or something. But that's not what's happening. So grab it while you can at a reasonable price.
That's Bhanuka from Surge. They have a really cool office here in Kolpiti. It's grass, like it's artificial grass.